Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1182 while we draw Zaza, okay? It is very fitting because there is no episode, there is no chapter this week, so we are on a break. Oda is giving us a lot of information lately, so I understand that he may need to recalculate a couple of things to explain properly everything, okay? He is dropping a lot of lore lately with gods, with powers, with top tier characters that we have been wondering about them for 30 years, basically since the beginning of the story. So let's draw this character called Zaza. Zaza, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is basically the sound of the rain when it falls, okay? And the chapter is named like that because this is the last panel, the appearance of this kind of god, simulation of a god, because this is not how it really looks, but this is just a nightmare created from killing them, okay? So let's analyze a little bit everything. I wanna suggest some ideas I have relating to this character, who is gonna be this character in real life. In my opinion, is gonna be most likely O Vivi or Dragon, and we can explain why this, okay? So we started the chapter, we have a very nice cover showing Fujitora Iso eating some noodles, and Fujitora is a character that I absolutely love. I think when we had the One Piece story supposedly lasting only 5 years, Smoker was our good marine. Smoker was the character who was gonna turn the tide of the Marines and the corruption of the Marines and make them good. Okay, because the expansion of, instead of 5 years, now we're already 30 years in it, we have new characters that play the same role or a higher role than it could have been Smokers, okay? And that is basically Iso. Iso, I need you to show up. Smoker, I need you to show up. I have a theory about the Smoker that I'm gonna be putting here, where I explain how he is gonna be the new, let's say, boss of the Marines in terms of taking the lead to whatever Aokichi couldn't achieve, or whatever Aokichi needs to do in the darkness associated with Blackbeard. Smoker is gonna be the one who staying within the Marines, like, you know, Kobe, Garp, and Helmepo, and the rest of the sword guys. They are having like this extra branch of the Marines called Sword, that they are trying to do the things on their own, but at the same time, where does Smoker fall? Tashigi has been seen a lot with these guys, but Smoker not. So where does Smoker falls? So I like this. I like to see Isho here. When Oda draws a character, shows us a character like this, means remember this guy is still around, remember this guy is opposing the current system, and remember I need to do use of him and he needs to do doing something, okay? So I like how this kind of foreshadowing telling me that in this very important episode where is Imu focused, Gods Knights focused, and Gods in general focused, and the cover is Iso, basically. Even if it is a request by someone random, like a kid or someone that is, you know, asking for this character, sometimes it's Oda just playing the cards of calling our attention, okay? So I'm just gonna leave that there for your interpretation, but if Fujitora is here, means that soon we're gonna be seeing of him. It's about time as well, okay? So we carry on with the episode where we left it. There is still a crazy battle between Nidhogg, as, you know, Loki, and Ratatosk, that is, you know, the Squirrel Hammer, versus Imu. All of them very buffed up, all of them very powerful, and they are up and down. So we see how the Squirrel, that is actually the Hammer Ragnir, augments in size, kind of resizes himself to be able to fight better. Loki is complaining a little bit that because Loki is so big, it's difficult to see Imu around. Imu, remember as well that is able to change the size as well, okay? So we are talking about gods and they can do everything basically, okay? Imu is very excited. The face is very excited, very happy. Like I explained in my previous video about talking about the analysis of the episode and everything and talking about Joy Boy, Imu has been waiting all these centuries to find someone again who is at the same power level. Let's say that if Luffy is gonna fight nowadays, let's say Morgan, you know, Captain Morgan, obviously, one shot, obviously just looking at him, it will defeat him. So this is how Imu feels. Where are the guys who are able to fight me? And these are guys of legends like Joy Boy or legendary fruits like Nidhogg, for example. Nicely put. Imu says traitor, okay? He wasn't expecting to meet Nidhogg in the present. Probably what happens here is that, and I said it already 1,000 times, all of these guys were friends, all of these guys were nakamas, all of them realized how the corruption of Imu was absolutely crazy, the things that Imu wanted to do, and basically made some tricks, made some things to kind of block her or his way into taking power, taking over everything. So there is resentment in Imu, where the mention of Lily and the mention of traitor is very specific to Lily. Now there is mention of Nidhogg as well, so we suspect that all of these characters obviously were Joy Boy's allies, like a simulation of what's happening nowadays in One Piece. We are seeing Luffy joining forces with Gyojins, with Giants, with Tontata, with everyone basically. He's making a nice environment from everyone and he's saving everyone. So most likely this is what happened 100 years ago as well, that Imu wanted Dominion, as Dominion is the main topic of the previous episode, and what happens is that Joy Boy wanted freedom, okay? And the way that maybe the shadow, let's say the darkness, maybe let's say Satan, the devil, that is Imu, and the way that he had or she had to achieve this was through oppression, through dominion, through control, okay? And Joy Boys, in this case Luffy, it is through happiness, laughter, you know, fighting, but you know, like the way of Luffy that is fighting, that they fight, but they don't kill, basically, is just this kind of rivalry that we are seeing this even in the normal fights, that Luffy not gonna kill anyone, but we are gonna see how these bad guys like Crocodile, for example, is gonna end up helping him, and then we're gonna have other characters as well, in my opinion, like from Big Mom Saga, from all the sagas basically, helping us at the end of the story, because it is a paramount rule in One Piece basically that the bad guy ends up seeing that Luffy is in the right, and he can achieve the goal that was destroyed for him before, like Crocodile's dream was destroyed before. Maybe there's a way of me of achieving my dreams as well. So it's different types of approach for the same idea. So the clash is, in my opinion, very interesting, and I can't wait to see more. The eyes of Imu are still in rim, in circles. There is a lot of frustration still. This is going to be revealed later. I think the eyes is not a power. The eyes is just frustration. It is very, 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 very upset. And yeah, so we see how Imu is realizing that actually there is snow falling. The snow is actually connecting very nice with the thunder, with electricity, because it's potentiating the power of Loki. And Imu is like, you know, of course, because they are complementing each other very nicely. And obviously, he's talking to Ragnir directly, he's talking to the squirrel directly, saying, you know, I remember you, and you are finding a new master. So whoever had Ragnir before was the one who was wielding the power. Remember that Ragnir here is very, very similar to whatever Vegapunk has developed, so the fruits can be applied into objects. This is a hammer with a squirrel fruit model Ratatosk. We already assumed this. We never had the sticker, you know, the mention from Oda of confirmation of the fruit, but now we just had it, okay? So the squirrel here, the hammer, Ragnir, it is actually as well from 800 years ago. I don't think this is a win for us, for anyone, because this is something that it's a given, in my opinion. We already knew that the hammer was waiting all that time for someone to eat the fruit, and now it happens to be, after all these 800 plus years, almost 900 years, Loki is the one who has eaten that fruit of the Nidhogg, okay? Because if you remember, Loki eats the fruit trying to stop Harald. Harald is so strong that no one is able to stop him, so Loki is forced into eating the fruit. You know, they are given instructions like, okay, go and eat the fruit, and that's how he gets it, and he's able to defeat as well, to defeat the squirrel, so he can actually take ownership of that fruit. I like it. I like it, and Oda is setting up the flashback that soon is gonna come into a scene with all this unexpected fight, because, you know, where are the Straw Hats? Where is Luffy? Where is everyone? Loki is taking the screen. I like it, but he's taking the screen a lot, okay? And Imu as well. So this is good versus evil, but where is Luffy fighting? Okay, Luffy is still eating, still waiting and everything, still getting ready to fight, in theory. So, as I said, snow and electricity is nice combination, so it's potentiating Loki's attack. He's shooting some nice bullets of power. Imu is defending himself as well, and then we see in another scene how Bonnie, you know, is very curious. Oh my god, because remember that Bonnie is at the end of the day a kid, basically. So basically we have here as well Vegapunk Lilith with her, and he's saying, you know, careful here. I'm tasked with protecting you, so just be careful there. And Vegapunk, that is the one who drops this massive lore information about good and evil in the previous saga in Egghead, here is not understanding who is this character of Imu. And as I said this a couple of times already as well in the channel, for him to create Stussy, somehow, without knowing, he has taken some sort of sample, some sort of, you know, a hair, a blood sample, something from Imu, thinking that he was taking it from someone else, okay? So that's why he was able to recreate Stussy's fruit and create this kind of vampiric, kind of succubus type of fruit, okay? In my opinion. I'm gonna put the video here so you can see the drawing of Stussy and understand a little bit why I'm explaining all these things. But in theory, he needs a reference to be able to create a power, and I think 100% that is Imu foreshadowing. I don't think we're gonna go into details. Maybe we see a small panel somewhere while this is explained, but I think it would decant the process of storytelling that we are having now into something else that maybe we don't need. So maybe we don't see anything about Vegapunk and how he got this sample and how he created Stussy going forward, because that information in general we already had it, okay? So let's do the hand here, okay, like this. Obviously we will make it a little bit nice. As you can see, I'm drawing with blue because this is representing water. I want to go for probably not using pencil. I'm gonna be just using probably color pencils and maybe just minimum amount of line work, because it's supposed to be water, this character. And I think it can be fitting that we only go for blue, so maybe a little bit of green and these things. So is gonna have multiple arms. So far in the image we see 3 arms, but probably it's gonna have more, like some sort of octopus probably, like Hachi probably. As we see, she has the eyes as well, very upset, very frustrated. So everything that Imu is gonna be creating, or the powers of Imu are gonna be creating, like for example, Killingham is able to do this massive power up because he's been powered up himself by the Omen, by the power of Imu. So I think everything needs to have this frustration eyes, okay? So Sanji is with the girls, with Lilith and with Bonnie. He is destroyed because he was one-shotted by Imu before, like Zorro as well, and he wakes up straight away. And in between this kind of mini moment between he's knocked out by Imu and now, and there is a mini flashback here. There's a couple of images flashback where Killingham, that Killingham is the one who was kidnapped by Sanji, let's say. He put himself together, he comes to see Sanji, you know, saying like, oh, you know, Sanji, you couldn't hold this, you are not good enough, basically just mocking him that now he's free and he's gonna do whatever he wants, basically what he said at the beginning. Sanji is unable to move, and it takes a little bit of time for him to be able to wake up from this semi-unconscious state that he is, okay? So straight away, now when Lilith is talking with him, he wakes up, he flies, and he says, you know, obviously, Sanji's line, he needs to protect this land because Luffy and Usopp love this land, and then he has a duty as well because it's full of giant beauties, basically. This is the Sanji in love of all the girls concept. And yeah, well, I mean, sometimes for me this is a little bit too much. I need to see Sanji serious. I need to see Sanji from Water 7. I need to see Sanji going into the train and trying to save Nico Robin, and you know, opening a passage for himself and Sogeking to reach the CP9. I need that Sanji fighter. I'm a little bit, you know, getting tired of the silliness with the girls and everything. Yes, you can do the jokes and everything, and it's you know, it's funny, but against Imu, that is the last, you know, the top tier character so far that we have seen in the series, stronger than anyone. Maybe it is time for Sanji to get serious. I'm missing that a little bit. I will appreciate Oda if we park a little bit the concept with, you know, the joking with the girls and everything, and we focus in Sanji probably fighting properly, serious, like against Jabura and everything. This coming fight that is gonna be against Killingham, like a proper fight against Killingham and Pro. Please. We jump into the Owl library straight away. A small reminder here, a small refresher is that when we see how the library and the school and everything is, you know, is burning, is half destroyed, and you know, Saul and Robin that are together, they're like, oh my god, the books, they're gonna have to find, you know, Biblo, etc., etc. You know, they are worried about the legacy of all that information. So now they arrive here, Biblo is there. It's a giant owl with glasses, like a librarian, typical librarian, with a jumper as well, like typical librarian, very nice. I love libraries, so I love this character. So Biblo, this guy has a fruit that allows him to change the size of objects, make it bigger, make it smaller. Like he's taking a normal standard book, making it bigger, so Jarundin can read it, okay? He's taking any book that he has in the library, he's making it tiny, so Robin can sit and can read it, okay? So everyone can read. At the same time, he can make it very small, like in Merlin actions, when Merlin in the Disney movie, the King Arthur movie, in Sword in the Stone, he is gonna move from his cabin in the woods to the castle to train and supervise and teach everything that he knows to young Arthur. He he starts singing, obviously, and all the items in his house are getting tiny, 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 going to his back, and then he's able to move, and then when he's there to set up, he starts singing again, and all the items, boom, 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 start getting big, 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 and can go in place, okay? So this is basically something in the same line. I absolutely love it. There is a need in me of drawing Biblo. We are gonna have some sort of lore drop from Biblo soon. I believe Biblo as well, obviously, to be from 900 years ago. He knows everything. He's been there from the very beginning. There is, you know, legends in mythology, not only in Norse mythology, but in Greek mythology as well, with the goddesses and everything, with Athena and everything, with concept of owls. So I expect to have a lot of information coming soon regarding Biblo and why is he there, how is he there, and in connection with the fruit, okay? So everyone is happy, but Saul is like, you are a mystery. I don't know what's going on here. So when you have this kind of confusion, this kind of information, this kind of something going on where Saul is a little bit weird about it, when he's the one who entrusted basically all the books from O'Hara, because he brought all the books from O'Hara together with Jarundin and the rest of the guys, is interesting, at least interesting, curious for me, okay? I want to know your opinion about Biblo. I want to know what do you think about this guy. If you pay attention and zoom in and look into his eyes, he has rimmed eyes like Imu as well, like Sunisha as well. Sunisha as well, it's from 800 years ago. There's a lot of frustration. All of these guys were friends. All of these guys were betrayed in some sort of something, okay? Some of them were punished. Some of them disappeared in time, like Lily. Some of them allied with the wrong guys, okay, with Imu. So a lot of frustration, a lot of betrayal in that flashback. It is gonna be absolutely epic. So we jump into another place near to the castle where we see a ginormous Viking, like a Drakkar, a Viking ship falling from the sky. And apparently Saint Summers, with his strength, newly found strength, because he's as well being powered up by Imu, he manages to bring a new ship to carry the kids. They are gonna continue with their plan of taking the kids and everything. So these guys don't know where or how to stop. These guys, it is obvious that we are gonna have now Sanji and Zorro 1 versus 1, Killingham and Summers, obviously. I like it. I want to see other guys fighting as well. Yes, I love Zorro. Yes, I love Luffy. But give me a little bit of Usopp. Give me more of Brook. Give me as well a little bit of Frankie, Jinbei. You know, now with Zaza here with this power, it's full water. So it makes sense as well that Jinbei is gonna maybe deflect some attacks and everything. But I can't wait to see all of these things. The clash continues of the top tiers. So in the background, where from this town, we are seeing these massive explosions of Haki. How basically we have the guys fighting, Loki and Imu. Chopper has healed or kind of made a temporary fix for Gert, stitching back the fingers that they were just cut by Imu in previous episodes. And yeah, let's do these details 1 second to make sure that we do this part like this. Okay. Okay, so, you know, Gert is gonna be recovering, that's very nice. She's very impressed because, you know, Road actually helped there and sacrificed himself to save the kid, the brother and everything, and she's a little bit, you know, cute around him, like, I don't know, it is gonna be some sort of later, like Sai and Baby 5, they marry or whatever, I don't know. I don't think they fit at all, but We will see what Oda wants to do with this. I don't think it's important at all for the story. I would say this is more connected to, in my opinion, this character connects more to Jarundin. I've been seeing from the very beginning that I'm waiting for the moment when we see that actually Gert was behind the curtain the whole time, seeing whatever happened to Harald and Loki, and she knew the truth of all of the thing, and she's gonna just slap Jarundin for not believing in his brother straight away. Me, I would love to see that, but looks like Oda maybe is not gonna play that card. So anyway, we see, like we've seen Sanji before, we see Zorro as well, that is going as well with the last of the giants, with Goldberg, that has no been affected by any attack. They are moving closer to enemy lines. Okay, Zorro is saying something interesting. He's been hit by this omen. Okay, he should be destroyed, but you know, he's Zorro, so he survived. Thing is, he said that this blackness, this darkness thing, once it kind of solidified on him, it attacked him, it became like steel. Interesting. So, you know, steel is created by a process as well of extreme amount of heat and everything, and when we have someone like Zorro that uses swords, katanas and everything, are we gonna get a new sword? It is maybe time to upgrade the Sandai Kitetsu. Do we wanna lose a sword at this stage of the story? No. I don't think we won't, because we gave already a lot of emphasis to Oden's story with Oden's sword and everything for the giving of the sword by, you know, the daughter to Zorro, kind of a legacy there and everything. But interesting is that this he has in the hand like bullets, these are like bullets of steel. He could maybe have a coating, maybe. I'm not saying that this is gonna give him a black blade as such, like painted, like a coating actually, that is gonna make it stronger, but it would enhance the sword. So it could be interesting maybe to see something in that line as well, that we don't lose Sandai Kitetsu, okay? But maybe he's gonna hit some of these black flames, some of this omen, and cutting it, instead of cutting it, it's gonna impregnate the sword and it's gonna solidify, you know, within a lot of heat on top of his sword. So he will have an extra coating. That could be something that it may be interesting to see. I've seen a lot of videos and, you know, investigated a lot of how they do the katanas as well, and obviously it's a process of that. You know, you need to melt the material and everything, and you need to make it very thin, very nice. So could we go unexpectedly, like when we got Ryuma's sword unexpectedly, into the realm of having a new sword soon? I would like it, or some sort of upgrade. Like when you are playing a video game, for example, sometimes you are collecting materials across the map, and then you can go to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith is gonna upgrade your axe, upgrade your sword into something a little bit better, because you added materials on top. Obviously, this didn't work exactly like that, but it could be something that Oda can make work. I want to know your opinion about this, about options of maybe not replacing the sword, but upgrading it somehow, like forging something stronger on top of it, and then obviously coating it with your own haki, coating it with your own power and everything. That can be interesting. So that's a question that I'm throwing there for everyone. So there is this conversation, this phone conversation, then the Munshi conversation between Summers and his colleague Killingham about I have brought the ship, just start bringing the kids. He says that he's making these nightmares and everything, and is when he reveals that he created the thing that he's the most that he finds the most scary, and that's Zaza, the Rain. This character, remember, it is the character who didn't know about the Gyojins, or he was very disrespectful towards Jinbei, and it's interesting that water is gonna be his kind of problem, okay, here. All of this is explained, and they are so scared because, you know, being born above the clouds, that they say, that's Marejua, on top of the red line. There is no clouds above, there is no rain falling on top of them, and Zaza, that is the rain, is like a terrifying concept that it's gonna be raining on top of you. So I expect this guy to be affected by his own power, and I expect this Zaza character, probably, when defeated, maybe to fall on top of him somehow, and make him be very stressed about it, in panic or something, because he's his worst nightmare, basically, and defeat himself with his own power, basically. Sanji, yes, he's gonna be the one who faces this guy, but it will need to be including his fear. That could be interesting as well. So he just barges in this new monster creature, this new god. He's taking the kids, so here in the hands, I'm not gonna draw them because they are very small, but he's taking all these kids to capture them, to take them to Marejua, to capture them, basically. And there is no way to stop a body of water. So how are we gonna do that? As I said, Jinbei needs to handle the monster, the god. Sanji needs to handle the person, the character, the killing him, and the rest is gonna be slowly everything. So the end of the episode is the two gods knights, and then you have the two Straw Hats, Zorro and Sanji. Sanji is flying towards that because Zorro stopped and said, "Oh, should I come back? Should we come back?" And then Sanji is flying towards there, and Zorro is like, "No, we don't need to, because, you know, Sanji's gonna be there, so kind of he will handle it." But obviously he's giving the heads up, like, you know, don't mess it up, don't be ridiculous here, just do your job and think. Like, they always have these dynamics, and it's interesting as well. So we're drawing a little bit of tones in blue. I don't want to add more line work here. I'm just going to be adding some blues around, okay, to create this kind of effect. Water, Zaza, God concept. My first choice is the person, like it's going to be this character, when revealed, is Nefertari D Vivi. We know that Vivi is part of us, is one Straw Hat more, and we know that Vivi has been recently, she's been hunted by the world government, and she's escaping with Morgans on this Zeppelin type of ship that he has flying around, and she's basically being taken to Luffy. Luffy is in Elbaf. So look what's happening here. Reverie happens, Vivi is gonna be captured, so she escapes with Wapol and Morgans, okay, from the government. Now she arrives to Elbaf, chasing Luffy, because Morgans have information that Luffy is here. And we need to reunite with Vivi. Vivi is gonna come to Elbaf, to the top of the tree, to the top of the Adam tree. That's my opinion. And when we go up to the tree, obviously you are going to be able to see Vivi realizing that she escaped from Marejua in trying to avoid the bad guy, Imu, and then Imu is there. Imu is there. Imu, before he or she disappears from Elbaf, needs to see Vivi, needs to try to grab her, and just before that is the moment where Imu needs to, you know, disappear and come back to Marejua, because he ran out of power, basically, in my opinion. Like, he has a timer. Like, there's always a timer in One Piece, okay? It will be interesting to see that now the timer is not on us, it's not on Luffy, but in the bad guys. So there is no way, there is no possible way that once the bad guy at Imu level is revealed, that this is now, and the bad guy loses. This is like Crocodile. Crocodile, we face him once, and we lose. We face him twice, and we lose. With Doflamingo as well. With Big Mom, with Kaido as well, okay? So this is not gonna be different. We need to lose now and before Imu is able to capture Vivi. That's what he wants. That's the picture on his wall in back home in Pangea. When that's gonna happen, before that happens, I don't think he's gonna be able to take her, because the power that he has, the strength that he has, will vanish and he will be returning back into Marejua. Okay, that's my opinion. And then we have Vivi with Luffy and everything, telling the stories, telling what happened, explaining what happened to Cobra and everything, talking about Sabo and etc, etc, etc. Okay, by this point probably we have as well some news about Sabo and everything, and then with all of these things happening, it will be very funny that the tree falls and then Vivi is back in Marejua, back in trouble, back in problems, and we need to keep fighting, okay? And Blackbeard is introduced there. Blackbeard should be in Marejua. Sabo and Dragon should be in Marejua. So we have a Ragnarok level of battle, like where everyone is fighting there. So, the water. When we are in Arabasta, we have this moment where we're in the final fight. You know, Luffy is fighting Crocodile in the catacombs. Vivi managed to go up to the tower and she finds the bomb. She's shouting, everyone is crying, you know. She's not able to stop the fight. So then she starts shouting, and for her voice to be heard, basically. Her cry, for a moment, it feels like her cry made rain. Okay? So she cries, rain starts to fall. This was a coincidence because at the same time Crocodile is defeated. Crocodile, let's say he was using his power to affect the whole kingdom. That's why you did not have rain there. That is not true. Okay? To affect the environment, what we have learned so far with One Piece is that the fruit needs to be awakened. As far as we know, Crocodile was not awakened there in Arabasta. He was just using his power in specific moments. So, very interesting concept. So now, if we have, imagine that we just have, like in my theory that I'm gonna put here, if we just have Vivi being an ancient weapon, being like Shirahoshi, like I explained in my theories about the mechanical ancient weapons, and at the same time that is crazy. Okay, there is another character that it is connected to rain, is connected to this possibility, and that's Monkey D. Dragon. Okay, Monkey D. Dragon, his introduction is in Lockdown. We have seen it as well quite recently as well in the live action and everything, where Luffy is gonna be executed by Buggy, and there is a tremendous thunder that falls on top of them and is liberated. Nami says at that point, "Oh, a storm is coming." And what we see here with this monster or this god is a crazy storm as well. So it could be the dragon is the legendary god as well. It makes sense. It makes sense for me that we have Dragon being as a possibility here, because when are you gonna place him? What is he gonna be doing? Where is he gonna be attacking? How is he gonna be attacking? It's only gonna be Sabo. I mean, Dragon's goal is to defeat the world government. This has been a reveal now through Killingham to be the most feared of those living above. So at the moment, the most dangerous man in the world, in theory, the highest wanted poster, should be Dragon. That's what we know so far. We don't know if that's gonna be 100% true after all the incidents with, with Luffy and changing, blah, blah, blah. Maybe now Luffy is getting the highest bounty poster or everything, I don't know. But the thing is, we need to have some lore explanation about Dragon. It can fit very nice that he is this character. It will be a little bit, obviously, too much to have Sun God, Luffy, God of the Forest, Chopper, and then God of the Rain, Vivi, all of them in the crew. That's how it should be, but it makes sense that all of these gods are separated in different factions, okay? So if Dragon is gonna be the user of this power, like Luffy is with the Nika fruit, it could be as well fitting as well. I would like it, yes, but I think I prefer to do the Vivi concept. Vivi is gonna be the voice. Vivi is gonna be the diplomat. Vivi is gonna be the character that at the end of the story, when we finish the whole thing, he is the one taking over the ruling system, basically. She's gonna be the new queen. Probably, in my opinion, Sabo is gonna be the new king of the world, and Vivi is gonna be the queen of the world. And we're gonna have good guys that Sabo renounced to his, let's say, life of a rich guy living in Goa to become what he becomes at the end of the day. And he, with Ace, with Luffy, etc. And it makes sense that someone like him is the one who ends up not wanting to be a ruler, but being a ruler, and Vivi as well. So it makes sense, that connection there. So you could have a pair there. It could be interesting. I would like it as well. I'm not much for oh, these guys are gonna be couples, blah blah blah. I'm just talking in terms of who is gonna be leading everyone once all of this is done, in my opinion. Okay, so I want to know your opinion about what I explained about Vivi. I want to know your opinion about what I explained about Dragon, and which one you prefer as well. Vivi, with the concept of the water and the crying, and connected to the ancient weapon, and connected to Norse mythology, explained in that other theory. I think it connects very nice in this character, this new character that we just found. And we still need to do a couple more of visuals about these gods. This is not going to be the final form, obviously. This is more like Thought Musica. When I was drawing Thought Musica, analyzing Red Film, I said more of characters like this, like Thought Musica, are coming. And in fact, Luffy is more human design. Then Imu is more human design as well, but this is pretty similar to Thought Musica. So this, like the Pokemons, basically, they need to have a form in God form, like it's gonna be like this, like a ginormous creature and ginormous energy, and the human form in a person. Blue color, water color, greens colors. Vivi's hair is blue as well. So I think we may have a nice sort of explanation there. I want to know your opinion. This has been a very interesting and curious episode. Jinbei needs to be at play here, helping with this, and Sanji is the one who needs to defeat Killingham. Zorro and Summers, and then Luffy is gonna be sitting out, I think, waiting until Loki is defeated. And when Loki is defeated, then we may have Luffy going towards Imu. Maybe just for a face-off, but I don't think these two characters are gonna fight. I think there's gonna be some sort of conversation like we are seeing now with Imu and Loki. There's too much lore, I would say, in my opinion, to defeat Imu right now. Let's sign for today. We finished. Okay, this is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23. You can say that you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed this episode analysis and these theories, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.